Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cafetalk. How y'all doing out there, my beautiful peeps? How are you doing this fine morning? It's actually been a really weird day on this day of recording. It's been sunny and then rainy, so you know how everybody's handling. I hope you survive, because we love y'all. I'm here with my main man, the guy with the most beautiful beard I've ever seen in my life, Jolin. How you doing?
No. That's too much, Victor. I can't take credit for that. There have been some really beautiful beards.
But Jolin, you're the only person that has a beautiful beard like that in my life right now. You know, I gotta acknowledge that. You know, maybe,
well, thank you, Victor.
Yeah, of course. You know,
like the man said, welcome back to Cafetalk. You have your choices of milk. You can get whole, low fat, or almond.
I'm sorry, but we ran out of soy milk. So you know, for anybody out there, we apologize.
But yeah. So, Victor, happy late birthday for the people.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just turned 22. How do you feel?
I did. I feel older. That's damn sure right there. Honestly, like I totally forgot it was my birthday when the day was coming up. But I mean, you guys reminded me, and I had a great day. So thank you. I appreciate that. You're the true friends.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But another year around the sun. You know, it's another lap, and I do not feel any wiser.
That's fine. And I remember turning like 21, and I thought it was gonna be like this amazing moment where everything was gonna change,
yeah, like a
the
great
planets
transition.
aligned,
yeah.
and I would just be absorbed into this new class of species or something. I don't know. But no, it's just a normal day. Had to take a test the next day. So.
Like you just get this like sense of like, oh man, at 21 or when you turn 18, you're like, oh, finally I'm it's gonna be a huge transition in my life, and then you just realize it's just another day.
Yeah. Well, when you turn 18, you're just it's
in high school.
You don't feel like you're just waiting to turn 21 because that's when you can do everything.
Yeah.
And then you turn 21 and you're just like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, you're like.
I mean, I could buy alcohol and cigarettes now, but I don't smoke or drink.
Exactly. Or for those people that have been doing it since they were 18, it's like no different whatsoever. You're just like, all right, cool, yay.
But anyways, Victor, you came up with the topic this week. What are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna tell people?
Oh, well, speaking of getting older and life transitions, we were thinking of maybe talking about, you know, how people come in and leave in your life. You know, all those heartbreaks. You know, whether that's a significant other that you like shared some good times, or whether it's just like a good friend, you know, that you've had for years. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, most people leave you. You know, that's what life does. That's what life happens. Everybody continues in their own. Paths cross, and sometimes they, like, separate. So I was thinking maybe we could talk about that. How you know, how it makes you feel. What was your mind process throughout it all, and what type of person were you after it?
Yeah.
You know?
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah? So Jolin, jumping right into it, I'm going to ask you, what's the first person that you remember that left you as a friend or girlfriend?
That left me?
Yeah, that left you, and you were like you actually felt some change, like maybe something was missing from your life.
That's hard, man.
You remember the first one?
Like, the only one that comes to mind is, for the sake of the podcast, we'll use different names or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Let's call him Jim if it's a guy, and Sally if it's a girl.
Alright, everyone's gonna be named Sally now.
Just all of them.
Alright, for sure. First one was Sally, and that was like in high school. Towards the end of our senior year.
Oh yeah. Really? That was the first one?
That's the first one that comes to mind.
I thought it would have been Jim first that came in.
No, well, I broke things off with Jim.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
but
like,
you asked like
matter.
people who left me.
Oh, true. Okay, yeah.
I'm the one that broke it off.
Okay, then let's go.
I broke
with Sally,
it off
then.
with a lot of people actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You were the one
I just
that
get
left
tired
them?
of them, man. I just get tired of people's crap, or, you know, we don't.
Or they changed.
The reason why I became friends with them is just totally different. Like a couple months after.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you just realize they're not the person that you thought they were.
Or they change into a person that you no longer like appreciate anymore, or just don't enjoy hanging out, or you don't see the same view, so you're like, might as well just go somewhere else.
Yep.
So Sally, she left you.
Yeah.
What was the mental process that you were going through?
It was just, looking back, it was dumb.
Yeah.
We were adolescents.
hormones.
Hormones. Well, at least on my side, hormones raging.
Yeah.
Trying to get a girlfriend.
Well, I mean,
it just didn't work out.
That doesn't mean hormones weren't raging in her side too.
Yeah, but it's not.
Just like,
those hormones weren't raging because of me.
It just weren't the same hormones.
Yeah.
That's why.
All right, whatever. Point is, it was a one-sided thing, and I decided to act on it, and then she just took it the wrong way, and we just stopped being friends. I remember. It just really sucked because we were such good friends.
Yeah.
And then me being in a really bad time in my life, which is kind of sad to say. When I was 18, I was at a bad time in my life. But it's true. I wasn't doing so great, and then to have that kind of bad news,
It just made you feel worse.
Yeah, it just put me into a little depressed episode.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like eating and stuff like that, and it got really bad. It didn't get to the point where I started to self-harm. Luckily, we were able to talk things out, and I was able to cope with it.
You got some closure at least?
Yeah, I got closure, and then it took the rest of senior year to cope with it.
Yeah.
Because we still saw each other. We had classes together.
Exactly.
So yeah,
you got that whole usual awkward situation from time to time.
Exactly.
Like yeah.
I got you. I mean that experience in itself, as bad as it was at the time, it turned me into the person that I am now, where I kind of snapped out of being this hopeless romantic, trying to be the Prince Charming for a Cinderella that never existed.
Yeah.
So would I have changed it? No.
So pretty much you stopped putting the girl, the crush that you had at the time, on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And you realize that she's just another human being and that you should treat her as such.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good life lesson.
Yeah,
from just
and then that carried
experience.
over. Luckily, I learned that my senior year of high school, and then that mentality of stop trying to find a girlfriend and stop being a hopeless romantic.
Yeah,
carried over into college, and then I just became this social butterfly. And
nice.
Yeah, it was great.
See, there you go. You became better for it.
Yeah.
Do you have any experiences?
Well, now hold on, Victor. What about you?
Well, I mean, it's such a good question right now. You know what I mean? I was gonna be since Sally left you became a better person because of it. Did you ever have an experience in which someone left you and you felt like you were a worse person than you were? Not worse in the sense that you just completely were a shitty guy, but just you felt your actions from then on weren't the same. They didn't have the same energy.
Yeah, I get you.
Or at least you just were doing worse stuff than you were before. That sort of stuff.
I get you.
Yeah. Did you have any experience like that? Did anyone leave you that left you like that?
So the first person who came to mind when you told me that was obviously Sally.
Yeah.
Because Sally she does everything to people.
Yeah.
She's not a nice person.
Yeah.
But she's the first person who, when we kind of broke things off, it made me feel worse of a person because, looking back now, she kind of just took advantage of how much of a hopeless romantic I was.
Yeah.
She
was very manipulative.
Instead of just being honest with me and telling me this is as far as I want to take it. Mm-hmm. She kept on adding fuel to that fire or leading me on.
Yeah, she kept baiting the hook to keep you on the line because she kept saying not right now or maybe I'm not ready. Hoping that you would be oh, maybe one day she will be.
Yeah, so that's the first person that came to mind because obviously Sally moved schools when we were in junior high.
Yeah.
Well, our junior year.
Yeah.
And then that tore me up a little inside because we had talked about it prior to that. If we still had feelings for each other around senior year, that's when we would actually try to start a relationship or whatever.
Yeah,
because both of us were focused on getting into a good school.
Yeah.
And then what do you know? A month later, she gets with a guy who's pretty similar to me. Chubby, has a beard, plays guitar.
I didn't have a beard at the time.
I know. Well, I was talking about Caesar.
Oh, okay. I thought you because X.
Yeah. Oh, she had other guys too.
Yeah. No, I was actually gonna say that at the time that she was leading you on the line, she was with the other guy.
Exactly.
So that's why
I felt bad because
Yeah, that should have been a red flag right there on our part. We should have seen that.
Whatever.
Because I was still helping you out. So
whatever.
Yeah.
That. Your whole revenge wouldn't have come out if you guys warned me.
That is a story for another podcast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to hear that. Even if you hate me afterwards, that's fine. Y'all got to hear that story.
But yeah, so Sally.
Yeah, that okay, I can see that. That definitely a good example, actually. Man, that was a hard question even for my own, and I asked it. I was like, wow, I wouldn't know the answer to that.
So what about you, Victor? Is there anybody in your life, or either just a friend or girlfriend or something, that when you guys decided, you know what, it's time to move on, you came out a better person? Either you came out like a better person, or that relationship just impacted you and like changed you. You get me?
Yes.
Similar to the question that you asked me in the beginning.
Yes, no, I get it. The problem I'm having right now is remembering the person's name.
Oh, you have to.
No, yeah. I know, but at the same time,
like if I don't know the person, that's totally fine.
So I had this friend in middle school who
was it Jim or Sally?
It was a Jim. So I had my friend Jim in middle school. He was very like abusive in a way.
Really?
Like he was one of those guys that would do really mean stuff and really mean stunts, like hurt people, and say it was a joke.
I think I know what you're talking about. Not by name, but you've told me like a story.
Yeah, right? So this guy, we were actually, I thought we were actually cool friends, like close friends. And I would go along with his like mean acts because he wouldn't do that shit to me. So I was like, okay, that's fine. It's just for jokes, and I would back him up whenever someone would get mad at him to the point where they would actually like do something about it. I was like, yo, calm down. It's just a prank or it's just a joke.
Take it easy, bro.
Yeah.
The camera's right there.
Do it for the camera, man. But at the end, he started treating me like if I was like pretty much his dog, like a beta.
Oh, I see.
Like he wanted to be dominant over me as well. Like he wanted to make sure that I was his sidekick, and I didn't like that because I thought we were just like equal. We're both just friends. So he started pranking me and started doing jokes on me, and then I just like straight up just told him, I was like, stop being this person. You know, you're just an asshole. But then, like, all the stuff he would say, because we were such close friends, he would know personal stuff that was going on in my life at the time, and, like, my feelings and, like, any girl I would like. And that caused him to have some material to hurt me emotionally and put me down. And to the point where, like, I actually felt like I couldn't even step up to him or even leave him because he was just gonna like start telling everybody my secrets. So I didn't want to leave that friendship. Then one point we actually got into a fight, to like a huge fight, to the point where we were like actually like physically fighting. I actually like, he left me in a really bad state to the point where my mom like got really scared, like, who did this to you? And she went to go talk to his mom.
Like he actually beat you up?
Yeah,
oh,
like
damn.
It was like an actual physical fight.
Oh man.
And like I don't want to sound tough, I did leave him in a bad state as well, you know what I mean? Like I'm not lying, I'm not trying to compensate anything, but it was just a really bad physical fight. At the end of that, I felt really bad because I actually felt like I lost a friend. And on top of like me being scared that he was actually gonna tell my secrets, in the end, he actually didn't tell anybody. Like in the end, he actually just stopped talking to me. Every time we would see each other, we would just ignore each other like we didn't exist. Nobody came up to me, you know, telling me, oh, this guy told me this about you, it's so funny, haha, started laughing at me. Nothing like that. And in the end, it taught me how I should let my friends treat me. Like that wasn't a real friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what led me to find friends in like Alex and Edward and you, that I actually saw, like, you know what, these guys are actually cool, they like the same stuff I do, and they're not mean to others, so they won't be mean to me. So I have no excuse to actually be mean to them, that type of stuff. So in the end, I actually was able to make real friends with that bad friend. Well, because of that bad friend.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like partway through your story, I was wondering where are you going with this? Because it just sounds like...
Oh, like what? Like...
I don't know, it just sounds like, oh, we were bad friends, and then we got into a fight, and then like, yeah.
And that's it.
I was just like, where are you going with this?
The story was a little too long to answer that question?
No, it answered the question. It answered the question fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And as for like the other question that I asked myself was the whole, you know, if I ever had anyone that left me in a worse state, it would actually be Sally. left me in a worse state, like the same Sally that you were talking about.
Oh, I see.
Because after her, because it was actually an intimate relationship, I felt like I became a worse person in the way where like my caring ways weren't the same. You know what I mean? Before I would do anything for a friend, I would like drive miles, waste a bunch of gas, not even expecting them to pay me back, not even to say thank you. Like I was okay with it, because as long as you were my friend, as long as you were like a family in my eyes, I was happy about it. And after Sally, after treating her as well as I did, and then just seeing her like backstab me that much, I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. You know, life is not the same. So I started treating people quote unquote worse, but not worse in a way where I actually went out of my way to hurt them. It was more of just like, I became more honest. I just told the truth the way it was. If it hurt them, it hurt them. They can't handle the truth. And if they didn't, then hopefully they saw that, you know, I didn't mean anything bad by it. I was just trying to be honest.
All right, I see.
Yeah, but I do miss that loving Victor that always saw the sunshine in every dark tunnel, that type of stuff.
Oh.
Just to like cheer everybody up, even if I killed myself for it.
I don't know. There's a point where you have to realize like you gotta watch out for number one.
Exactly.
Because I was like that like way in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember going on car rides with my mom and my sister.
Yeah.
And then they would always, like even at a really young age, I have no idea why, they'd always tell me like you need to watch out, because if you don't change, if you don't like toughen up, somebody's just gonna take advantage of you later on. I never understood like what they meant. Like, what do you mean take advantage of me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought like,
oh, they thought you were too nice.
Yeah, they thought I was too nice, or like too
friendly,
too accepting of everybody.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So they always like told me to just like toughen up and watch out, and, you know. And I never understood why.
Just focus on yourself from time to time.
Yeah, and part of that comes from being like very sheltered as a kid.
Yeah.
Whenever like I went to family parties and there were people who were smoking or drinking and stuff, and mom would like isolate us, or even to the extent of just like taking us home.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want us to be around that kind of crowd.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Which I thank her for, because that kind of built the character that I am now, because I don't take that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's something I just wanted to talk about.
No, that's actually really good. That's a good contribution, Joe, and thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can still be that kind of person, and I know you are, because you go like the extra mile when it comes to that.
Exactly. Like I know I'm still the same guy, but only to the people that actually have shown me the same, you know, actions towards me.
Yeah.
Like that other people, because I used to do it just for friends that I barely made. I barely knew a guy or a girl for like a month, and I was willing to do anything for them after that because I thought they were my friends. But now I'm actually just reserving those type of actions and that type of kindness for like people that I've had for years in my life now.
Oh, I see.
You know? Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, just so Sally, like I just been stuck on her for such a long time, and it started to go away around my second year of college. But just because I would go to parties and I would see Sally there, and people would be like, yo, she's like talking about you, go do something. Like that kind of hindered the progress of just cutting ties. Well, not cutting ties, but cutting feelings. Yeah. This whole year that I haven't been at school, and like I've actually been able to like not see her or talk to her for months. Yeah. I had this conversation with my sister too, where I just realized how high on a podium I put her. It was like unrealistic, and
like it was so high you didn't even accept the fact that you were probably putting her on a high podium. Yeah. It was just so high. It's only when I took a step back, and that step back was like a year long. Yeah, that I realized it, and I'm just and I'm just like that sucks for me. That sucks for her. Yeah. Like you weren't fully enjoying the time with her because of that. Yeah. Yeah. You were always trying to please her one way or the other, and exactly. Like I wanted to every time we like got lunch or went to parties or something, like I wanted to show her like, look, I'm boyfriend material. Yeah, exactly. You were going out of your way instead of just enjoying the party. Exactly. And then like, now, I mean, that's not to say I didn't enjoy parties. Oh yeah, you told me those. Towards the end, I became that guy who got things started. Yeah.
Like I would go around with like a bottle and point at people and be like, "Hey, you
take
want to take a shot?
Yeah.
You want to take a shot? Who wants to take shots?"
Let's all
I
take
became
shots.
that guy, and then like by the end of it, everyone knew, like, oh, he's the one that got things started.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I became that guy. But yeah, like that whole thing with Sally, even though nothing happened and I realized it, like I still really do want to be friends with her.
Yeah, like you can still
but
talk to her, right?
I don't know. Like we just haven't spoken in like almost 7 months.
Yeah, I know. That's
It's been
weird.
a long time,
That's
and
weird,
I don't
bro.
know why. But whatever, Sally can't say that I didn't try, because I have tried.
Yeah, no, you told me that you've actually like messaged her, tried to contact her, but she's the one that doesn't like do the
Yeah.
same back. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Oh, it's fine.
you're good. You're
Yeah.
good. Just do you. You know what I mean? Focus on yourself, and then if she does like contact you,
You know
then
what? I
that's
have
when
been
you
focusing on myself. I
That's-
started a new diet.
Hey,
Take my
I
dog out for
heard.
a walk.
Yeah.
You guys had to ruin it yesterday, like coming up. Well,
that wasn't us. That was your own
my
father.
dad. That was my dad. My dad doesn't know I'm
Yeah.
on a diet.
No, that's funny.
The only reason why I'm on
But
a
it was
diet.
veggie pizza though.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's good.
There's that. The only reason why I'm on a diet is just because like a lot of the clothes that I usually wear are like getting a little bit tighter, and I'm just like, man, no.
You're starting to like
I
realize
actually
it.
like this.
Mhm.
I like this shirt. I like this sweater.
That's what's getting tight.
Yeah, the sweater's getting a little tight. I had to like kind of
It doesn't
stretch
look
it out a
that
little
tight.
bit. Oh, thank you.
It looks tight in the right areas.
But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it.
That's actually good motivation. I mean, honestly, I've had that moment of realization multiple times because like my weight fluctuates throughout the year. I usually tend to stay the same weight no matter what.
Yeah.
So I just buy the same size and I'm good, and I like that's for like all year round. But then there are those moments where it's like tighter than it was like a month ago, and I'm
Yeah.
like, shit. Like, am I really like starting to get fat again, or fatter again? And that's when I started like realizing, and I started working out a bit, and then my weight drops, and I just go back. So it's not really healthy at all. But I should really just stick to the diet and just work out.
Yeah, I feel.
But keep going, Jolyn. I
Oh,
believe in you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We're gonna
you
take a
should.
quick pause.
All right,
We'll be back.
and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Just a little break. So one more question, Jolyn, is just to like jump into another topic.
Man, you're just full of questions today, huh?
Yeah, I really am. I'm a very curious guy.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
You know, I'm lucky my name isn't George.
Ask away.
Aru? Oh, right. So, do you, in the way that technology is advancing exponentially, in the time period that we live in right now, you know, we already got laptops and stuff. In like 10 years, phones went from like flip phones that you could barely send a text message to having the computer and the whole world on your palm of your hand. Do you think people use this advancement in technology to stay in the time period they prefer, you know, like with all their pastimes and all the favorite memories, rather or do you believe they actually would love to use the technology to move into the future and see what's new?
Well, Victor,
What do you believe, Joel?
I say yes. Yes to all. I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely, I agree with that. I think that people are using technology. Well, whatever.
Or do you agree on both? Like, do you actually agree that
Well, I
people
agree.
are using
I agree
both?
more so in the fact that people are using technology as a way to stay in that time period that they like, to reminisce about the good old days, if there are any good old days. Because you see like take Netflix shows for example, right? A bunch of them now they revolve around like a certain time period or this whole or like a certain age group.
They're using the nostalgia effect.
Yeah, they're using the nostalgia in a way to like attract their audience, because their audience sees something that resonates with them, and they're like, oh, I remember being this age or dealing with this kind of problem and whatever. So yeah, like take Stranger Things for example.
Yeah, exactly.
It's geared towards people in our age because we're that like bridge generation where
we've heard of everything.
Yeah, we've heard of everything. We're one of the pioneers in like in seeing the advancement of technology, because we had like the Nokia single brick and then the slide phone, and then we saw the first iPhones.
We're literally at the gates of like computer advancements.
Yeah, we're like the last generation that had to hear the dial-up tone.
Yeah.
And things like that. So that whole tracing back to like a simpler time still kind of resonates with us because our parents, they always talk about the 80s. They love the 80s. They were disco people.
Yep.
Like simpler times, things like that. So we hear that, and when we watch those kind of shows, we think of our parents. And then take On My Block, for example. That kind of show resonates especially with us because it deals with modern times, modern groups of people.
It deals with that generation that was raised by the previous generation that didn't have computers and internet, but at the same time they themselves are growing up with it.
Exactly.
They're not the current generation right now, which is being raised specifically on technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Like surrounded entirely by it.
Yeah, and then you take cars, for example.
Yeah.
We saw like the introduction of like the retro body fit with like the new Mustangs.
Oh yeah.
And then as soon as Mustang came out with their concept that kind of looked like the 65,
the classics, yeah.
Chevy came out with their Camaro, Dodge came out with their Demons, Honda introduced another Type R. This is all things that have happened before in like the early 80s and 90s.
And they still had like the whole new technology and the new engines and power that they have to produce, but the chassis, the body itself was like classic, or
exactly
a homage to
and
the
then
classic
even look
cars.
at that, like the reintroduction of the hot hatch group. Like in the 90s and 2000s, hot hatches weren't a thing, and then now we have the Focus RS, we have the Subaru. Well, Subaru doesn't make hatches anymore. We have like the last, I don't know, what a lot of hatches.
Yeah,
we have Hondas.
The Honda Civic.
We have Hondas. We have Volkswagens.
Yeah.
We have Toyota coming out with their new hatch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like we're using all this technology so that we can go back to a simpler time.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
no one wants to deal with things that are going on now.
Yeah. Do you believe it's because of the whole fear of the future or fear of the unknown? Because
pretty much,
because the future itself is unknown, so people rather stay in the past where they already know what happened and they're
pretty
comfortable
much.
in
But
it.
then again, like you look at other, I'm using like movies and shows as an example because it reflects on like the time period.
Yeah.
You look at a lot of the shows that just came out on Netflix, and they have to deal with like future dystopia.
Oh yeah.
Just like
true.
Altered Carbon.
It went from like a future with like amazing technology, teleporters and laser rays and flying cars, to like a dystopian future where like we kill ourselves with like
exactly.
pollution.
And then you guys recently saw like Player Ready One.
Yeah.
That's another movie that has to deal with like this
overpopulation and stuff like that.
Yeah, this dystopian future where like the only escape is using virtual reality.
Yeah, that's true.
And that reflects in today's time, where this is the things that we want. We want to escape from the current time that we're at, because where we are now is just shitty, for a lack of better words.
And in the process of doing so, we don't improve our current situation. If anything, we make it shittier.
Exactly. It's like putting a blanket over the mess.
Yeah, exactly. Or
like it looks
slipping it under
fine,
the rug.
but there's still a mess under.
Yep. But do you believe if there's any people out there that actually look forward to the future, like they're working hard to
definitely.
like create the future itself?
Yeah, definitely. Like I look forward to the future.
Well, what category would you place yourself in?
I'm more
into the futures category, or more to like you want to remember the past?
I'm more towards like looking to the future, because it's the only way things are gonna get done. Like you have to think of those things. You can't just stay in the past forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Like another person, like the first person who comes to mind that's a big proponent of the future is Elon Musk. He like looks at the current situation. He always thinks about like what can we do to make it better.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's true. I mean, I think I would place myself more into like towards the middle, but I guess more towards kind of living in the past. Everything I do, everything I work for, everything that I hang out and do with my friends is for the future. You know what I mean? It's to better the community, better the experience that any person that comes into my life has with me. But when it comes to like entertainment or you know, getting away from it all, I go into the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm more like 50-50, but I still try my best to like make a better future for not only myself, but maybe for potential families in the future as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I see that.
All right, so Jolin, we got some bad news, man.
Oh well, before we wrap up,
we
the podcast,
break it up.
No, before we wrap up the podcast, I'm gonna do. Nobody asked for this.
Yeah.
Because nobody commented in the last video. But I'm gonna do that Netflix review.
Oh right, which one of the?
So today, this week's Netflix series that I saw was Fastest Cars.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to look for a series.
What series did you review last week?
On My Block.
Well, did you really?
Yeah.
I remember you talking about it, but I don't think you reviewed it.
I reviewed it.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So this week's is Fastest Cars. It may sound like it only targets like one group of people, which is the car community, but if you give the show a chance, you realize that it's much more than that. They geared it towards a general audience.
So it's not really a sorry about that. It's not really an informative show about cars. It's more of like a show that has cars in it, and it might just like teach you something new.
Yeah. So
Like,
for
I didn't word it right.
yeah, to kind of give like an image of what I'm talking about. Imagine like America's Top Model.
Okay.
It's a competition show where they have like people who enter it.
Yeah.
But it's about cars, and they're ultimately like competing against each other to see which one's the best.
Oh.
It has the competition factor into it where they place that kind of wonder, because the whole show is basically like 3 sleeper cars, which for people who don't know what a sleeper car is, it's a car that looks like it's not fast. Well, it's a car that doesn't look like it can perform well. Yeah. Like its looks don't match its performance.
Yeah, exactly.
So 3 sleeper cars against the supercar. So it has that competition that drives the show, and that's what some people like.
So it's like Hell's Kitchen for cooking, and like you said, America's Top Model, or for baking, it's what is it?
Like Britain's Great Cooking Show or something like that.
Cupcake Wars and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's that type of competition show where you have the drama and you don't know who's gonna win at the end, and you want to see who wins at the end, but in the process you learn about cars as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah. So that's how the show is laid out. The thing that I liked about it is that it kind of shows the reason why people are in the car community or why people build these cars.
Yeah.
Because right off the bat, the first episode, you meet this guy named Corey, and he has a really old like rat rod.
Ooh.
That he built by himself, and the reason why he built it is because when he was like 21 or 22, he had an accident that basically like paralyzed him from the waist down.
Oh damn.
And he just got tired. Like before his accident, he was super into sports. He was like a BMXer. He skateboarded. He was like this active guy. And after his accident, he just got tired of asking people for rides. That he just decided to build his own car. And the way that his car works is that it's like the thing that looks like a handbrake operates it. So there's a little metal clip that is a throttle. It accelerates the car. The actual handbrake itself is how you brake, and then there's switches that start the car and do all these things.
Yeah.
And he built it because he wanted to. He loved it. And there's a lot of people like that. There's a guy on the show who built his car as a tribute for a friend who passed away because another driver lost control and rammed into him.
Oh, what?
There's another person who builds cars because cars like literally pulled him off the streets.
Oh, he was doing some bad stuff.
He would go to the junkyard and find parts, fix them up like headlights, and sell them, and that's how he make his money.
Oh wow, that's bad.
Through that, he was able to buy his own shop and start his own business.
And he started building his own car?
It shows the more human side of the car community.
Yeah. It's not just like that annoying group of people that just all they care about is like making noise and speed.
Exactly. It's not just about building fast cars. It's like why we build fast cars.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. Cars. Yeah. And that's what I feel like the show was really going for, because they have these people who like take the time to build their cars, and they race them against people who like just buy their cars.
Not bad.
So it's a good show. If I had to give it a score, it's like a 7.5, maybe an 8. Just because, like, I'm coming at the show as somebody part of the general audience, not somebody who's part of the car community.
Yeah.
So 7.5. It's a decent show. First couple episodes definitely recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Well, that was Netflix review.
No, we're not doing that.
Come on, Jolene, you gotta get into it.
Show review. Show review.
But can you do this? No. But yeah, that was great, Jolene. I actually want to go watch it now. I definitely want to
tune
check
in
it
next
out.
week and see what Netflix series I talk about.
Yeah.
Will it be Series of Unfortunate Events? Will it be OA? Will it be Dark?
Oh God, please watch Series of Unfortunate Events.
But it's 2 seasons long.
You can just watch the first season. That'll be good.
True.
I love the first season. Either way, that was good.
But yeah.
All right, it's time to wrap it up then.
All right. You wanna do the honors, senor?
I don't want to break it to him, Jordan. It's heartbroken, man.
You gotta do it, man.
It's heartbreaking.
You gotta do it. You started the episode. You gotta end it.
It's some really bad
Comes
news,
around
man.
full
I just can't.
circle.
That's it. Well, so the Jumblhoj, you guys all know and love. I'm sorry to say, it's not gonna be the same anymore. And we gotta let you know that the reason for it is it's gonna be better than ever. We're gonna be bringing you a lot more stuff and a lot more cool, interesting projects that we are gonna be in the works right now.
We got new episodes of Cafetalk listed and ready to go. We got a new podcast series that we're gonna start sometime soon.
Yeah, big
We
time.
got new playthroughs.
It's gonna be like nothing you've ever seen before on this channel.
And for the first time, we're adding the dogs. We're adding Barry and Ollie onto the show.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, hopefully the plans that we got in store for you all enjoy, and maybe you could like add us. Don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. If you actually enjoy our content, we we love you, and all we just hope is that you love us. Ain't that right, Jolene?
Yep, pretty much.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on another episode of Cafetalk. Hope you all have a beautiful day, and see you later. Stay beautiful.